Periodically throughout the debate, we'll give each of the candidates 30 seconds to make a free statement. The candidates drew for the order. We'll hear from the first two candidates now. Senator McCain, followed by Congressman Hunter.
Thank you. I've devoted my life in uniform and in public office to keeping this nation safe. I've been involved in every major national security issue of our time. That kind of experience is what's given me judgment. The judgment to oppose a failed strategy in Iraq, a judgment to call for the strategy that's succeeding now. And I wasn't very popular because of it. I have the judgment and the experience, and I believe that I can ask every American to serve. I have one guiding principle, one ambition, and that is to keep America safe and to achieve and maintain our greatness.
Congressman Hunter?
You know, I stand for a strong national defense, enforceable borders, and bringing back high-paying manufacturing jobs to this country that we pushed offshore with bad trade deals. I've been a member of the Armed Services Committee for 26 years now, and I've chaired that committee for 4 years, and I'm one of the few guys up here who's worn the uniform of the United States, and my own son has done now 3 tours in the Middle East, coming back on Thanksgiving. I know what it takes to secure this country, and I also built that border fence in San Diego that works so well, and I wrote the law that takes it across Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas, and as president, I will finish that border fence in 6 months.
Thank you. I want to move on and hear the free statements from our next two candidates. Congressman Paul first, and then Senator Thompson.
The goal of all political action should be to preserve liberty. We need more freedom in this country. We need to look to ourselves and what we are doing. We have drifted so far from our Constitution that the Constitution was written to restrain our government. Yet we've turned around and the Constitution now is used to restrain the people. But we have no chance if we don't restrain the government, all that they do in undermining our personal liberties, controlling our economic well-being, and using it as an excuse to police the world. If we don't change the role for government, this country is going to suffer a very, very serious economic crisis.
Senator Thompson.
On all these issues, I've been a strong, consistent, common sense conservative. But the most important issue facing our country, and will be for a long time, is national security and the safety of our people. I've spent a lot of time, both in and out of government, traveling, talking to foreign leaders, dealing with these issues. I know the world we live in. I think I know what we need to do. I think that it's going to require strong leadership. And I would ask people to think one thing before they cast a vote. When our worst enemy is sitting down at the negotiating table thinking about what he can do to the United States of America, who do you want sitting on our side of the table representing you? That's probably the guy you ought to elect president.
Thank you. Let's hear free statements from two more candidates. First, Congressman Tancredo, and then Governor Huckabee.
We have had 45 years really, of unlimited immigration, both legal and illegal, into this country. It has become that is a problem. Unlimited, massive immigration is a problem. But when it happens commensurately without the same amount of assimilation, it becomes a catastrophe. We will become what Teddy Roosevelt warned of. And he said, you can have immigration, but if it happens without assimilation, all you end up with is not a nation, but a polyglot boarding house. Some of my friends on the stage, both governors and senators, said we should trust their judgment. Well, their judgment is what got us into this problem. So we need to trust somebody else to get us out.
Governor Huckabee.
I think people in this country are looking for leadership. They're looking for change. They're not looking that people would be elected to be so much a ruling class, but a servant class. We've forgotten that. Our founding fathers had a brilliant, really revolutionary idea that the people elected would not represent the elite, but would represent the ordinary. Our founding fathers had the idea that when we are elected, we're not elected as a part to be elevated up, but to truly remember who it is we work for. I think sometimes that's what's happened in America. We forget that our job is to keep this country safe first and foremost, and it's to try to encourage Americans to be their best at everything they do. And I can tell you it's a long way from the little rent house I grew up in to this stage. I'm still in awe that this country would afford kids like me the opportunity to be a president. I'll try not to forget where I came from and where this country needs to go.
Thank you. We're going to move to the last three candidate statements. Governor Romney has 30 seconds, followed by Mr. Keyes, and finally Mayor Giuliani.
I want to begin by saying thank you to the people of Iowa. Over the last year, my wife and I visited many, many homes, many places, over 70 town meetings, 67 counties. Josh, my son, has visited all 99 counties. The people here have warm hearts. They've welcomed us, and it's something that's made me feel very good about America. Anybody who's worried about the future of this great land just needs to come to Iowa, meet the people with the kind of heartland values that you have here. People here also recognize we face real challenges, and they want somebody who will strengthen America. I know how to keep America strong. I know a lot about the economy. I'll make sure we keep good jobs. I learned a lot about education and health care. I'll improve our schools, get our health care system working for all Americans, and I'll make sure that we have the kind of values that we can be proud of that are so essential to the great strength of this nation. And finally, I want to say to the people of Iowa, I need your help. I'd like your vote. I want you to get out and participate in that caucus. Thank you.
Mr. Keyes?
I think that the critical thing is what you need to do. If you really want to see a change in government, then we need to restore the credibility of the Republican Party. A credibility that has been destroyed by the betrayal of promises to keep government limited that resulted in outrageously high budget deficits at a historic level in this country. The betrayal along the border, with the President telling us that he suddenly discovered we didn't have a secure border 6 years into his term. And if you want to accomplish that, join the political army of America's revival at AlanKeyes.com and make sure you become part of that change. We're not going to restore self-government until you become an active people, not willing to take the inadequate choices you have, but lifting up the choice that this country needs.
Thank you. Mayor Giuliani.
I've been tested by having to provide leadership through crisis, through difficult crises, not just September 11, but in my time as United States Attorney, Associate Attorney General, Mayor of New York City. And America needs bold leadership. We have big problems. We have problems that we haven't faced in the past and solved. Problems about how to deal with terrorism effectively, problems about our border, problems about our economic security that we've talked about. And to do that, we need bold leadership. We need the kind of ideas that I've put forward in the 12 commitments to the American people. But most importantly, we need an optimistic leader who can bring us these kinds of solutions. I've gotten results in the past. I would like the opportunity to do that for my country.
Thank you.